I'm tent camping at the Merced River, and this area is very new to me. I just found out about it a couple of weeks ago, and I am so glad that I did because it's only an hour from my house, and this is at 1,000 feet elevation. So even in the winter, this is super mild, just like the Kings River, which is a place I've been going to for about 7 years now. But that's 2.5 hours from my house. So this is much closer. And there are 3 campgrounds here. There are 2 other ones. You could actually get in there with a small trailer, and I have camped there already once. But this weekend, I really wanted to tent camp. Even though I've had RVs for 5 years now, I do like to tent camp every once in a while. And this campsite, you can only use a tent anyways. So in this video, I'm just going to basically show you a very long version, kind of an almost uncut version of what I do when I camp. A lot of people message me or comment on my post or my video or all over social media, just asking me questions about my camping gear, the different tents I have, or how do I do this and how do I set that up. So I'm just going to basically give you an overview of everything I have and everything I do, and I do a little bit of fishing, a little bit of hiking, and just overall just really enjoy a weekend of tent camping. This is the last campsite, so it's a little bit more private, and it's also very close to the water, and I'm able to park right off the road up there. That red truck is mine, so that made it a little bit easier to bring everything down. It wasn't that long of a walk. So this is what I have. I have 2 bags, one with clothes and one with just miscellaneous things, pajamas and, comb and girly stuff like makeup, things like that. Here is my Kodiak canvas sleeping bag. It's a 0-degree sleeping bag and a very comfortable pillow. Besides that, I have my cot. It's pretty big, but at least it's easy to put together. I have 1 crate for all my cooking things and food such as bread, things that don't need to be refrigerated, 2 gallons of water. I have a camp stove. I have this teepee tent that you can actually put a wood burning stove inside. It doesn't have a floor, so I had to bring that extra rug for the floor. I also have 1 crate, and this has basically tools, hammer, lanterns, my coffee pot, things that didn't fit anywhere else. I have 1 cooler with all the food that needs to be refrigerated. I didn't bring ice, but I did freeze about 4 or 5 water bottles. And I brought the doggy's bed and all kinds of chew toys. I bring this, I think it's a 3 or 5 gallon water jug. This will give you running water to wash your hands, wash your face. I have a throw for when I just want to relax next to the campfire. This backpack goes with me when I hike. I can also throw all kinds of last minute things in there before I leave my house. And I have a little table. I can just set that up just in case the campsite didn't have any tables. And then I have this recliner chair. It's super comfortable. You could even sleep in it, but it's just really nice to relax next to the campfire. Every campsite here has a bear box because supposedly there are bears out here. And the bathroom is basically just a little bit of ways down that way. It's just a little walk. It's not too bad, but at least you have the bathroom, so you don't have to worry about that. I like to set up the camp stove right away just so that it's ready whenever I'm ready to cook. And I usually put out my cast iron skillet, my coffee pot. I even bought a teapot. It's actually really good to heat water, extra propane bottles, just stuff like that. I just like to have it set up so everything is right there. And after this, I am going fishing. And up until now, I have kind of given up fishing in rivers and streams because my hook was always just getting snagged on the rocks, and I finally learned how not to have that happen. So it's more enjoyable now. I used to just like fishing in lakes, but rivers are also nice. It's a different way of fishing. So now I feel like I can actually do it. And of course, you can't fish for trout. I mean, you can fish, but it has to be with barbless hooks, which is what I have, and it's catch and release only. Chances are I'm not gonna catch anything, but it's still good practice, and I definitely wanted to take advantage of it while I'm down here. Let's talk about campfires. So, first of all, I always bring some wood with me. And one time, quite a few years ago, there was this friend that I camped with, and he sort of laughed a little bit and he said, "Why would you bring wood to the forest? It's like bringing sand to the beach." But I told him that, first of all, you never know if you're going to find wood. You never know if it's going to be wet. What if it was raining before? And then you're going to have a hard time, getting your fire going. So I usually bring small wood, the type that you need to get your fire started, and some medium-sized wood. So at least I have something. There were some wood here, some bigger pieces, but it was definitely helpful that I brought my small ones, my fire starters. That's how I do it. Everybody has their own way, but this is just what has worked for me. And this has a fire grill, so I actually cleaned it. I even used some alcohol, meaning vodka, to kind of wipe it off because I was putting my meat directly on it and I wanted to make sure it was clean. So at this point, you can just make a small fire to cook your food, and then you could make a bigger fire for later. One thing I've learned over the years is that it's better to make your fire early if you're going to cook your food on it. I mean, if you're hunting, it's a different story. You're getting back after the sun went down, it's already dark. You're not even going to cook an elaborate meal. You're just going to try to eat something real quick. But if you are just camping and you're just relaxing and enjoying everything, I like to do it where I make a fire at least an hour before the sun goes down, because you need to get it going. You need to have that fire to actually burn and then kind of burn out if you're going to put some meat on it, because you don't want to cook the meat in the flame or on the flame, right? You want to just use the heat of the fire. So all that takes time. And if you're going to put a big piece of steak on it, that's going to take some time to cook. So this is just how I like to do it. It's just almost like a ritual. It's just relaxing. I like making a fire. I like to do it where it's no rushing. Maybe even have a drink while I cook. I usually don't do that unless I'm camping, and it's just all very nice. It's just part of the camping experience for me. As far as camp food, I gotta tell you, I never eat as well as I do when I'm camping. I make nice breakfasts. I don't do that at home. I don't even have time to eat breakfast. I wake up at 5:20 and I gotta be at work at 7:30, and I gotta drive an hour. So I eat breakfast at work, and on the weekends, I don't make a big deal out of it. And then the dinner, the same thing. Most of the time I'm so tired, I barely eat anything. So when I camp, I really take my time and cook some good food. So I prepped some salad in a Ziploc bag so I don't have to cut up all that stuff. Brought some tomatoes, some cucumbers, brought some potatoes, some cabbage, and I brought some short ribs. And it's for 2 nights. So there are I think 6 pieces in there. And as I was getting everything out, I realized I brought everything possible except for the dog food. This is the first time ever I left the dog's food at home, which means this dog is going to be super spoiled this weekend, and she's going to have a piece of this short rib. So I will have 2 pieces and she will have 1, since there are 3 per night. And she will also have the bones, and she'll have some of the cabbage and some of the potatoes for dinner. And then in the morning, she'll get some eggs and bread, and she will be just one spoiled doggy. And you see, even though I started that fire pretty early, sometimes time just gets away from you. Dinner is not even ready yet, and it's already getting really dark. It's not really a big deal, but it just illustrates my earlier point. Dinner is finally ready. So the doggy gets to have 1 piece of the short rib. She also gets some potatoes and some cabbage, and I tried to put the rest of the potatoes over the fire to have it cooked, but it didn't really do anything. So in the morning, I'm going to have to cook it in water for her, and that will be part of her breakfast. But this is a really nice camp dinner. Potatoes, cabbage, and short ribs, and a salad and some juice. And then later, I'm gonna have some drinks next to the campfire. I just feel like you can't have it any better than that. Even the dog loves this sleeping bag. This is a 0-degree sleeping bag, and you can sleep in this out in the snow, in the cold, and you will be perfectly fine. So I brought this. I also brought my wood burning stove for just in case, but I have it in the truck. It didn't seem like it was too cold, and I slept perfectly fine in just one layer of pajamas in the sleeping bag. This tent is actually pretty neat. It's nylon, but you can put a wood burning stove inside and it's not going to burn it. So I really love it. Hi, sweetie. Hi, baby. The first thing I always do is make some coffee, and this is some strong espresso with some creamer to make it taste nice and sweet and then just relax. And after some time passed is when I make breakfast. So camping for me in the morning is never rushed unless I'm trying to do an early morning hike, like wake up before sunrise and then be out there. But normally I just enjoy the morning and just totally relax. That's what it's all about. I haven't made breakfast yet, but I'm already preparing for lunch, and that is making pita bread from scratch with yeast. And this is a big deal for me because I don't bake. I consider this baking, and I have never really baked because I never thought I was good at it. I love cooking, but baking requires following directions, which I'm not very good at, but I have discovered this. This is my third time doing this, and I love it. So I am going to make some pita bread, and I also brought my homemade hummus and labna, so I will take it with me on the hike. And Misha, the doggy, continues to be a spoiled dog. I have boiled the potato from yesterday, and I'm also giving her some bread and one raw egg, so that is her breakfast. And she should be very thankful for this because usually she just gets her dry dog food, and as you can see, she's pretty happy. And now it's time to wash some dishes, and only after that I can make breakfast. So as far as cooking things, everything that you need for cooking, the things that I bring, it kind of varies from time to time. This time I only brought one of each, so that means one plate, one bowl, one fork, knife, one spoon, one cast iron skillet, and that small pot. I have one, maybe 2 cups, one coffee mug, and just overall one of each, and you just wash it and then you're ready to use it again. At other times I actually bring more, but I realized that it's totally not necessary. Less is better. Misha, come here. Doggies. Thank you, you too. Good doggy, Misha. You did a good job. Everybody did a good job. Yes, you did. Okay, go. This here is the Merced River Trail, and it's a really pretty trail. It's just one narrow little path along the river, and I was told by several people, I haven't researched it, but I was told by several people that you can actually keep going and it will take you 2 days to get to the end of it. I forget where it ends, but you would actually have to backpack and spend the night out there. That's how long it is. And this is my second time on it, and both of the times I actually started the hike later on in the day, so I could only do a few hours, and I had to turn back so that I'm back before it gets dark. But next time I'm out here, I'm definitely going to go first thing in the morning and just hike all day, because this is a really easy hike. It's all level. It's not strenuous at all. You're just basically walking, really, and you're walking next to the river. It's just a dirt road. There are a little bit of rocks here and there in the way, but it's nothing crazy. Definitely enjoyable. It's going to be one of my favorite paths to take out here. Besides this being a very nice hike, there are other things you could do here. So obviously you can fish. There are lots of spots where I think they're really good fishing spots, where the water is not so fast, not so shallow. Definitely you could get down there and fish. And there is gold here. There's actually an old gold mine that we passed. It's not really in the video. There's a house there. Somebody lives there, I guess. I mean, not full time, but they own it. But there is gold in this river. I have friends who come out here and they said they found gold. I did a little bit of gold panning myself, but I'm not going to include it in this video. I mean, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I was just kind of doing what I've seen. It was a lot of fun. And there's a lot of the fake gold, I guess they call it the fool's gold. It looked exactly like the real thing, super shiny, super pretty. So I knew it wasn't real. I was just sort of make-believing that it is real gold. It was kind of fun. It was kind of like being a kid, but I am going to research this and know how to do it, find out exactly how to do it. And I plan on coming back here in just a few weeks, and I'm going to try that. I will also bring the fishing pole when I come on this hike, and I'm going to try some more fishing along the river here. So I will definitely make it into a whole day's hike. And this is one of those spots right here where you just kind of have to climb up a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. Anyone can do it. Just put on some hiking boots. I actually had on some hiking sandals and they were perfectly fine. So other than that, this whole hike is very nice and very enjoyable. So here it is, one weekend of camping with me. When you camp, there are no rules. You can do whatever you want. You can get more active or less. You can relax more, stay at the campsite, read a book, or you can go on hikes. You can try to swim, you can fish, maybe you can hunt, you can practice archery, you could shoot your guns. You can do whatever it is you want. Most importantly, enjoy nature, enjoy the fresh air, eat some good food, and recharge your batteries before you go back to reality and you go back to work. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.